Hey there folks, Wrel here. In the background you'll see some mediocre gameplay from Tribes Ascend as I get used to the controls again and share some thoughts on better gaming. A subscriber not too long ago asked if I could do a video on the good things that games do for us. Now normally I don't just do a video that's been requested, but this has actually been on my mind a bit lately as well. We've all been told at one time or another that you need to go outside, or that video games are rotting your brain, etc., by our parents, our teachers, or the media, and that has never been the case, at least not really. I think that this mentality is changing, but video games have done more to help me develop both my skill sets and as an individual than school or work or my friends or even my parents. And no disrespect to them, but video games have been an incredibly powerful learning device in many different ways, and evidently one that's still underestimated by society. There is some evidence that this mindset is changing, but it seems to get set back whenever some idiot kills someone after playing Grand Theft Auto. Even so, people are finally coming to terms with the fact that video games are helpful on many levels, and even massive corporations have employees who unlock achievements when they do their job. You know, basic things that they should be doing anyway. It's gamification of the workplace. But more than just a carrot on a stick motivational tool, the impact of video games runs very deep. I grew up on jetpacks and spin fusers, at least that's what I like to say, and I'm of course referring to Tribes and Tribes 2, but alongside Warcraft 3 and the Mage's Lair, they are some of the first games that I really remember making distinct impacts on my life. Tribes had a massive community who supported the game and made great mods for it back in 1998 when I was 11, 12 years old, and I was learning how to make my own skins and mods for Tribes. You know, 11 and 12 years old. I literally made reskinned models in Microsoft Paint. Really basic and hilarious stuff looking back, but I learned also how to read and to mess with scripts from a young age. Still, that's nothing extensive, but those are extremely useful skills that carry on into other facets of life. The Mage's Lair, which I've talked briefly about in a past video, is a multi-user dungeon, or a MUD, and it's all completely text-based. I love the crap out of the game, and I played it during middle school, like all throughout middle school and a little bit into high school, and it's what taught me to type very, very quickly, and by using a method that does not confine your fingers to the home row and doesn't have to hold your hand. Mavis Beacon really has nothing on a game where you need to type out the many different commands in order to kill goblins and ogres and other more imaginative combatants. When Warcraft 3 rolled around, I got really deep into the map making community. I never completely finished a map, but I learned how to skin in Photoshop, I learned how to model in 3ds Max, and I learned how to tweak and splice animations using just numbers found in the geosets. I was making my own models, my maps, my skins, and spells even before it was legitimately supported in the Frozen Throne expansion. And looking back, that's pretty crazy. I mean, for me, these skill sets are hobbies that I can pull out of my pocket, skill sets that I haven't gone out of my way to improve, but they're there if I ever wanted to make character modeling, design, animation, or concept art into a career. And of course I'd need more training, but I'd have a very good foundation to start from. But even so, these are minor examples of skill sets that video games can inspire and provide. What's more important is how I develop socially. And this part isn't all due to video games, it can't be. Actually, none of this can solely come from video games because we do need balance, we do need context. But I have learned a great deal about myself and others from the games that I play. Games like Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, and Super Smash Bros. Were great to play with friends and just bond around the console, and we learned how to press each other's buttons, learned what made each other tick, for better and for worse. When I played World of Warcraft, I learned firsthand about addiction and boredom at the same time, and it got to the point where I'd want to play the game so badly, and this was like 5 years, right? 5 years spent playing World of Warcraft. Got to the point where I wanted to play the game so badly and do absolutely nothing else. But at the same time, I didn't want to play the game because there was nothing to do. I was cap level, I wasn't raiding, I didn't want to run instances. So instead I paced around my room or I went to sleep. And I wouldn't say extremely depressed, but I was learning to cope with that sort of inner conflict, that wanting to do something but at the same time not having the will to do it. And this is important because I still do it, and I'm sure many other people do it as well. I may have hundreds of good ideas for videos to put out, but many times I don't want to log on to PlanetSide 2 and jump through all the hoops that I need to in order to produce a good one. So instead, I want to pace around the house, I want to take a nap, or I want to play a different game that's going to distract me, but it's the ability to recognize that I'm in that state of mind, that frame of consciousness, to determine the cause of my frustration and then figure out a way past it. And this has been extremely helpful in life, as you can imagine. Now at the same time, games like World of Warcraft taught me how to deal with conflicting opinions, how to settle arguments, how to manipulate others, how to get a really huge ego, and then how to cope with a deflated one, and how to be generous to others. Now the catch to all of this is that you do need to find and understand the lessons that are hidden not only in the games that we play, but the reasons that we play them and the interactions that occur while we play them. Because it's easy to get absorbed in a video game world, to play it without end, and this isn't good. This is when you do need to go outside. Games can help you relax, they can just be what they are, which is fun, right? We play games to have fun, hopefully, but if you can't also find value besides that, if you're so far down the rabbit hole that you don't know what else to do with your life, then that's when you need to take a break. So to end this, and I'm going to let the rest of the gameplay go if you're interested in watching it, but to end this, I want to ask you a simple question. What have video games taught you, for better and for worse? The easiest way to kind of suss this out is to just think about the things that you've said and done throughout your gaming career, you know, the games that you played in the past, the behaviors that you've developed, and think backwards and figure out how they made you a better person, if they did at all. Then I'd also like you to keep this question, you know, what have video games taught you, keep this question, this technique in mind as you play your games from now on. And maybe that will help you kind of find the lessons that are hidden within. Because I do think that video games are a very powerful tool, I think they're very helpful, and I think they get a really bad rap, which we'll talk about more in later videos. But the more we do to explore and understand the positive and negative impacts of gaming, the more that we can kind of shape this definition of what video games actually are. If this video has been interesting, helpful, or entertaining, please feel free to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about the channel, and do answer that question in the comments section below, because I'm very interested in your answers. I personally barely scratched the surface of what I feel games have done for me as a person, but I figured that that's a good place to start. Thanks very much, folks. Wrel signing off.